Right, so I've just chopped this carrot down the middle like that, and I'm now going to do the same again, and this will give nice small pieces to eat. Get your fingers out of the way. And nice and slowly just chop through. Fingers out of the way. There you go, and that gives some nice diced cubed carrot. Next up is the cabbage we're going to put in. So we'll take the leaves off the outside, they're a bit knackered. I'm going to slice through the middle of it. Okay, so we don't want all the cabbage because it's not a cabbage soup, it's just going to be added to it. So what we'll do is take some slices. Take the core out, which is this chunky bit here, because that's tough. Set that to one side, and we'll slice it up quite fine because you don't want to be eating all the chunky cabbage in the soup, do you? This will break up as you're cooking it anyway. Okay, you can see how that will break up when we're cooking. So that will go into another bowl. That is ready to be put into the soup. And you can add a bit more cabbage later if you want. So these are the other bits that we're going to be putting into the soup. We've got some cannellini beans, some peeled tomatoes, tinned, a little bit of tomato puree, and magic ingredients, which is the rind parmigiano. Right, I think we've got everything in place. We've got some garlic as well, and we'll get a few bits and pieces herbs wise, but let's get cooking. Right, we're going to start cooking now, so hob on. I'll get it quite hot. I've got an induction hob, so it does get very hot very quickly. So we're going to start by frying off the carrot, celery and onion, and then we'll be adding some tomato puree, and then after that we'll pretty much be banging everything in the pan. So this will make probably 2 to 3 portions. So me and my lad, who's Charlie, say hello Charlie.
Hiya.
Hiya. So we're from near Preston in England in the UK, and we decided to do this so it gets me cooking more, and also Charlie's into his YouTube, so we thought it'd be a good idea to do both.
What temperature is it on?
Got it on number 6 at the moment, so I'm going to put it up a little bit to number 8, and then we're going to put some olive oil in. This is Spanish olive oil, and what we're doing is kind of like, I suppose...
Oh, didn't see that fully.
Sorry?
Oh, there we go.
So what we're doing is kind of like an Italian-y soup.
Very nice.
Minestrone sort of thing, but... So oil goes in. And then we will get the... We've used frozen, pre-diced stuff from the supermarket. So you've got some celery in there, some little tiny carrots and some onions, and I've also thrown in some fresh carrots as well, just to bulk it up a little bit. So that'll be going in. So we're doing this without meat, but you could have bacon in here at this point, or maybe some sausage meat.
So it's fully vegetarian, isn't it?
So this one's vegetarian, apart from we'll be putting in some chicken stock, but you can put in vegetable stock if you want to. So start frying that off. This is our first video, so we've no idea how it's going to come out in terms of sound or quality, or it might even just start halfway through.
Yeah, we'll figure that out later.
Charlie's going to be editing, so if it looks rubbish at the end, you know why.
Sure.
So we'll let that soften up and fry off a little bit for maybe 3 minutes or so, 3 or 4 minutes. Then we'll be adding in some garlic. Again, we've got the frozen stuff, there's no additives in that, it's pure frozen, but you can chop a fresh one up if you want. It's about 2 cloves there, and the cabbage that we did earlier. So it doesn't have to be fried off too much, because this is ultimately going to be a soup, so it'll be cooked down in the chicken broth and the other bits.
Just move the camera.
So garlic goes in. Or doesn't. Thank you. So like most people throughout lockdown in the last few years, we've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, a lot on cooking, a lot on camping in the outdoors, and Father likes his gaming as well. I'll just turn that down. Before we add the cabbage, we'll just add a squeeze of tomato paste.
Decent blob.
Tomato paste, tomato puree, I'm not sure what they call it in the US. Let us know in the comments. So I'm just going to cook that tomato paste down, and it'll start enriching it. It'll give it an umami flavour. So I'm just going to fry that off for a few minutes. So I've just boiled some water in the kettle for the chicken stock. So what I tend to do is just put it all together, because it all comes one anyway. You don't have to create this chicken stock separately. So it starts to get a bit easier at this point. Everything's going to get put in. Right, so now the cabbage goes in. Give that a stir. Get it all coated. Some cannellini beans. I've drained those. Most of the tinned water's out. Doesn't matter if there's a bit left. Give that a rinse out. See that, and get the rest in. So that goes in. Next for the tin tomatoes. They go in. That's a 400 gram tin, same with the beans. A standard large tin in the UK, not like the US where your large tins are like super massive. We'll add a chicken stock cube, good for 400 ml of liquid water. Then we'll add about a teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of dried parsley, teaspoon of dried basil, teaspoon of thyme. Put less or more in as you feel fit. Now for the liquid, So this will turn it into the soup. So these tomatoes will break down as well, so do it so it's about covering it. You can add more later or less, or just cook it down a bit longer if there's too much liquid in there. And then the cheeky secret, which is the rind of the Parmesan or Parmesan cheese, whatever you want to call it, and that will give it a savouriness and a underlying cheesiness as well, but not overly cheesy. So put the lid on.
You didn't grate that, did you? You just put it straight in whole.
Just put it straight in whole, because what we do, we fish it out at the end, and it just adds the flavour. So put the lid on, put the heat up till it's bubbling away, and then we'll turn it down and cook it for about 1 hour, checking about halfway through. So we'll come back in 30 minutes or so and see how it's going. Okay, we're going to have a look at it 30 minutes later to see how it's going. It's just nice gentle simmer there. I did have it quite a bit higher earlier on, but I've turned it down. Probably a bit too low now, but you can see everything's starting to break down. The tomatoes have broken down, and we'll keep that going for another half hour or so to see how it is, and then we'll add salt and pepper to taste, and then that'll be a very nice dish later on. Maybe have it some garlic bread just to dip in it. Right, okay, here we are about 30 minutes later, maybe a little touch longer. So, time to see what we've got. So, quite a rustic, chunky soup. There you can see the cheese there that we're going to scoop out. So I'll take that out, put it to one side over here. We'll get a bowl of this out. Beautiful. I've added a little bit of salt and pepper into that, and then we'll just finish it with a little bit of olive oil, just a tiny bit. It just awakens it up a little bit, and we'll serve that with a piece of garlic bread for dipping. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and see you next week.